Hi, this is the video corresponding to the lesson 2. In this video, we will analyze how it is possible to study from an experimental point of view the relationship between adherence to the Mediterranean diet and improve health and increase longevity. The health benefit of the Mediterranean diet occur in two ways: the modification of the metabolism and through bioactive molecule typical of the Mediterranean diet. Both induce changes that produce blockage of aging and both prevent the onset of diseases associated with aging and therefore can decrease the probability of death. The main question is how it is possible to establish a relationship, and the answer is using epidemiological studies. The Mediterranean diet is known for its positive impact on health. But how it is possible that this diet has such a significant effect on reducing mortality and disease risk? What components of the Mediterranean diet are responsible for this effect? Is the diet as a whole, some specific food family, some individual food, or some particular nutrient or molecule? So this question can be answered through the use of epidemiological studies. Epidemiological studies try to connect the adherence to the Mediterranean diet with the positive health effect. For example, if we increase fat consumption, for example, such apple, 4 times, we may observe a decrease in the risk of cardiovascular disease in individuals. In other words, we are relating a cause, consumption of apple, with to an effect, improve health. So epidemiological studies are used to carry out this type of studies. There are different types of epidemiological studies, but to study the effect of the Mediterranean diet, and given that we work with population, two types of epidemiological studies are used: cohort study and randomized control trial. In RCT, a population sample is selected and randomized. The health event occurring among the participants are recorded and the results are analyzed. In cohort study, there is no randomization neither intervention. In an RCT study, a sample of the population is selected and is randomized in two groups and subjected to an intervention, in this case the use of extra virgin olive oil or a diet rich in saturated fat for any given time, because it is a longitudinal study. The health events associated with each group are recorded. With this record data, a risk analysis is performed. For example, the risk of suffering a disease or dying. In the case of a cohort study, a population sample is also selected and subjected to a survey to determine who take extra virgin olive oil and in what quantity, and who follow a diet rich in saturated fat. Over a while, longitudinal study, the number of health events associated with the analyzed problem is recorded, and risk analysis is carried out with this record. There are some common elements in all these types of study, cohort and RCT. These elements are the target population or cohort, the group of people included in the study. Then, this cohort is stratified by, for example, age, place of life, health status, and the number of people in the study. This group of people is followed for a certain period. The follow-up and her data of health and diet are recorded. Therefore, we can say that epidemiological studies focus on 3 aspects. The first is what we wish to study, such as mortality or the risk of disease. The second is a critical element, the system for measuring adherence to the Mediterranean diet, among the methods that exist in the literature. And finally, a risk analysis must be carried out. which will indicate the positive or negative effect that we assume when we modify the diet in one direction or another. An example of a study here, we can see the object study, which is to analyze the risk of the cardiovascular problem associated with adherence to the Mediterranean diet. Data on the target population are given: Swedish woman who had undergone mammography within 10 years before the start of the study, 32,921 women aged 48-83 years were included. And the score, the adherence measurement system, is the modified MDS. MDS. Moreover, the risk analysis can be seen in the figure. The risk factor associated with age is modified in the different quartile of the population depending on the adherence to the Mediterranean diet. As adherence increases from left to right, we observe a decrease in the risk of aging-related diseases. On the right is the risk associated with 1 point increase in the MDS score. As summary, epidemiological studies help to establish a statistical relationship between dietary alteration, in this case adherence to the Mediterranean diet, and the risk of suffering or developing aging-related diseases. These studies make it possible to establish the probability that a given dietary modification is related to a given risk factor. However, they do not indicate, very important, the biological cause of this relationship.